Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Field Notes versus Apple Notes on your phone. Which one's going to be better for you? Which is going to make you more creative? Which is going to make you more productive? Let's get into it. Now, I absolutely love Field Notes. I think they are one of the best things that I've ever invested in, but you can't beat the convenience that comes when you are working with Apple Notes. What I like about Field Notes is that it has a rich history of people with pocket memo books. It's very, very popular still, but it has always been popular. It's popular for people who want to learn things and take it with them on the go, and so having a Field Notes book is extremely important. But there really is something to be said with how convenient Apple Notes is. The fact of the matter is, with Apple Notes, you can take it with you absolutely anywhere. Now, yes, a Field Notes book, it is small. Like if you look inside of this, it's got enough space for you to write really anything you need. However, I always, no matter what, have to have my phone with me, and I don't always have to have a Field Notes pocket notebook with me. I tend to favor my Apple Notes on my phone more than the Field Notes. That's just because there's not really a time in our world where you can go without bringing your phone with you where you're going, which is really unfortunate because I love going without my phone. That's one of the reasons why I love having an Apple Watch, because I've got the one that's got cell phone, cell on it. I can go out without my Apple or without my phone, and it's just a great time. Like, I love going out and not being distracted, not having Instagram and YouTube and all that on my phone. What's cool even with the Apple Watch though is you can have a podcast loaded up and you can still listen to that. So the first thing I want to get into is the functionality. You got things down here. You can see I've got tags set up for work and YouTube and books and all that. You can also use folders, and so I've got all these different folders where I can set out all the different YouTube videos I have. Now, the downside of using folders is that sometimes you forget to go back in and look at the things that you've done previously in other different folders. And so sometimes you can get your wires crossed. Even though you have more organization, you don't have necessarily the ability to go back in and check as easily. Another cool thing is with Apple Notes is you can do multimedia. This is just a screenshot of somebody else's video that I thought, hey, that'd be a cool video to make. When you're using something like a Field Notes, you can't do that. You could actually, you guess you could take a picture and clip it out or something, but way more difficult to have multimedia if you're somebody who needs, a bunch of different mediums of how you're taking in information, not just words and not just thoughts. Honestly, I think Apple Notes wins. The other thing is with Apple Notes, you have all the other apps available to you. So you have voice memos, you have reminders. It is very easy just to speak to your phone to remind you to do something. If you lose something like a Field Notes, those reminders are gone forever. And so once again, I feel like the iPhone with taking notes on the phone digitally, it wins. Next, let's talk about accessibility. When you have something like a cell phone, you always have it. And then if you do lose it somewhere around your house, you have Find My support. And so anywhere you're at, you can actually get to your notes. Not only that, but you can access it on a computer, you can access it on an iPad, you can access it on your phone. It is very, very helpful to access your notes anywhere you are. The amount of times where I've been out somewhere and I'm like, man, I wrote that thing down, but I'm out to dinner with my wife and I can't remember what that thing was and I don't have the notebook with me. That just means that thought, it doesn't get recorded or it doesn't get remembered. The other thing with having access to your notes is you can't search a Field Notes thing, obviously, but it really does matter when you have a lot of different notes in one place to be able to search it. And so having it on your phone where you can search your notes, that is absolutely helpful. A quick word from our sponsor, Plodnote AI. This Plodnote AI is an incredible little tool. If you are somebody who has a lot of meetings like I do, this is an AI note taker where it will summarize your entire meetings. As you can see, the all metal constructed body, it is robust, it's nice, it's not gonna bend or break in your pocket or on your phone, but this little thing is really, really cool. For me, I have meetings all day, tons of different meetings, and yes, though I love taking notes on something like a Field Notes, it's so much more helpful to have an AI assistant summarize your entire meetings. So with the Plodnote, all you do is you turn it on, it'll buzz one time. For me, I have it sitting in this little case in my phone, and as it's going, it's listening to your entire meeting, and it's transcribing your entire meeting, and then it sends you a summary of it. Now, what I find really helpful for this is that in those meetings, it gives you a full transcription and an audio version of that meeting as well, and so I literally never miss anything in any of my meetings. Now, Plod has a really great app, but like I said, it'll give you a full transcription of your meeting, of any kind of notes, of any kind of speaker. They just added the ability to shorten your clips, so you're not using as many of your minutes that you're paying for. And it's using GPT-4o for its transcription and for its summarization, and so it's really clear, really accurate. And so for me, as somebody who's in so many meetings, I just keep this thing on the back of my phone all the time. The charge lasts forever. but it does come with a quick little charging cable on it that you pop it on. It's really fast. Plod has made it so that I can have as many meetings as I want and remember absolutely everything. So thank you, Plod, for sponsoring today's video. There's going to be a link in the description to go ahead and get yours. It will transform your productivity. Thanks, Plod, for sponsoring today's video. Let's get back into it. All right, now for the final category, and I would say is the most important category, creativity. Now, I don't know about you, but when I am trying to be creative, using Apple Notes is not as helpful. I have done, long walks where I've tried to have my phone with me and I'm thinking out loud and I'm writing down stuff while I'm walking. And that kind of works, but there is nothing like the ability to sit down with pen and paper and write an idea out from start to finish. It is so helpful for my creative flow to be in something like a field notes. And so that's why for me, I always have field notes in my pocket, because I'll just sit down, whether I'm at a coffee shop, whether I'm at work, whether I'm at home, and I can get stuff done. I can get creative notes out, I can get thoughts out, and it just makes all the difference in the world for me when I have something like pen and paper just to jot down every possible thought I have. Now, that doesn't mean that every thought's gonna be good. Actually, most of the thoughts I have written down in this field notes are not good ideas, but they're getting out of my head and they're getting worked on. And so for me, with the creative workflow that I have, it really is important to have pen and paper. It just makes me feel more creative. But not only that, it actually helps me be able to go back and review what I've written down. And so there's a lot of times where I'll have really quick ideas and I'll jot it down, and then like 3 weeks later, I'll go back and I'll reread something and it'll spark a brand new idea in my head. And so for me, having it all in one place is extremely important. That's one of the downsides of having something like Apple Notes or Notion or any of that, is your notes are in all different places. And so you can't really linearly track what your day has been like or linearly track what's going on. And notes just kind of fall through the crack. Whereas when you have something like a field notes, your notes don't fall through the crack. And because this isn't connected to the internet, if I really want to get good work done, good like deep thinking work, having something that's distraction-free, that's not connected to the internet, is very important for me. I don't know if there's a reason this is happening, but the older I get, the more that I long for an analog life. I love digital things, I love tech, I always have, and I probably always will, but something about analog and just like pen and paper, real life stuff, even like photos, real life film photos, there's just something about it. I don't know if it's nostalgia, but it's like, it's in the real world and it's physical and it feels so much better. And so that's why for me, though I feel like Apple Notes, it's just more convenient, it's always on me, I just don't feel like it's better because I need to go back and review things and revise things. And when I can do that all in one place and a note never loses, leaves through the cracks, I have better ideas, better creativity. So I go field notes with me everywhere, always. Now, a quick thing, the other cool thing about pen and paper is you get to try out different pens. This is a really great Parker ballpoint pen. It's called the Jotter, I think it's called. I'll link it below. It has been a fantastic pen. It has not failed me once, and it just feels really great in the hand. And so if you're somebody who kind of likes to get into EDC stuff, this is a great way, pen and paper, it's really fun. I'll also link these field notes so you know the exact same ones that I use, because live and die by these things. So let me know in the comments below, are you a digital note taker or are you a physical note taker? I'd love to know. Like this video if you found it helpful, sub to the channel. I'll see you all in the next one.